Greetings. It's August 1st, 2014. This is your boy, Oregon Meat, Yodel Grilson, the last Kung Fu Master. I come to you today with sad tidings. I come to inform you that the person you consider a benevolent guru of black empowerment, Jason Black, and the Theblackauthority, they are all frauds. They are all frauds. Jason Black, Professor Truth, the Theblackauthority are all sapsuckers and frauds. How do I know? Well, I had a conversation with Jason Black yesterday on his Facebook page, which enlightened me to such an extent that I had discovered that this man knows nothing. He knows nothing. And I don't like to speak with such conviction and hyperbole today before you. It's not my normal fashion. But I need you to understand that you people are putting your faith in someone who knows nothing. Yesterday on his Facebook page, excuse me. Yesterday on his Facebook page, he had posted he had started a thread about the bus boycott, the Birmingham bus boycott, and he had said, I'm paraphrasing right now, that when Dr. King and them decided to have that bus boycott, they were walking, and that they were walking everywhere. That was their alternative plan to sitting in the back of the bus. They decided to boycott the bus company and walk everywhere. And I had to give him a point of clarification that during the bus boycott, they were not walking. I mean, clearly some people were walking if you lived or worked or shopped in close proximity to where you lived, to where you were originating from, or where your destination was. You know, if you live a mile away, and it's springtime, or the weather's mild, then you can walk that mile. But we're talking about the Montgomery, Birmingham, and Selma bus boycott. So basically, you know, this is an intercity bus service, and a lot of these people are working 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 miles from where they live. Those people are not walking. All right, and additionally, a lot of the churches pooled their money together and started their own livery service. They started their own competing bus service. All right, this is a fact. This is on the record. A lot of the black taxi drivers were working with the churches in order to enforce the boycott, or to to organize, or have it be, to have the logistics of the boycott be well served and better coordinated. That's what they were doing. Now Jason Black comes back to me and he says, that's incorrect. They were all walking. I need to open up a history book. You know, it's slight number one. I don't understand why slight number one is this ad hominem attack. Why do you need to attack me if we're just having a discussion here? All right? Why do you need to attack me if we're having a discussion? Tells me I need to open up a history book, but I'll let that slide. All right? He says that he knows that everyone was walking because some people in his family, they were in those bus boycotts. And then I respond to him, well, that's good for them, and good for you to have people in your family that were involved in the civil rights struggle in Alabama, down south. That's wonderful. But the fact of the matter is, those churches pooled their money together and they started a competing bus company. Now, this bus boycott went on for over a year, and it bankrupted the municipal bus company in Birmingham. All right? There were only 2 points I wanted to make, and the first point was that everyone was not walking. All right? There was a competing bus service, organized by the Council of Churches in that area. And 2, that collective group economics bankrupted the municipal bus company, And that what made them desegregate the bus line. Now he responds to me. I need to keep my mouth shut until I know something. Hey, man, come on. Come on, man. What's up with all of these ad hominem attacks, bro? You know, all these slighted comments. You know, this is already on the historical record, man. We're talking about a bus boycott from 60 years ago. So there's plenty of research out there. But I'm still not going to take debate. I'm not going to get into those screaming matches, bro. We're having a discussion, a mild discussion. You know, we don't all know everything. That's why I joined that guy's. I sent him a friend request. I started watching the Theblackauthority videos last week, and I thought he was on to something. I thought he was on to something with this black empowerment and pulling your money together. But that conversation I had yesterday, why, it made me think. You know, it made me think skeptically about this guy. So, you know, then I'm like, well, I'm not going to get into no argument, or I'm not going to get profane on your page because we are still being civil and we're still discussing the topic. So what I decided to do, I said, listen, man, let me get some research for you, because this is the internet and everything's online. So let me get the research for you, and then you can see for yourself that what I say is true. But I'm going to need you to be a little more respectful, man, because, you know, you're over here with the ad hominem attacks and everything. I don't think I deserve that, and I don't think that's prudent for a civil discussion. Now, mind you, everybody can get uproarious and loud and boisterous if you want to, but this is not the point. We're trying to work together. I thought I was talking to a black progressive. I thought I was talking to a black progressive. I thought Jason Black was a black progressive. So what I do is I look up the Montgomery Birmingham bus boycott, and I find a perfect resource reference. It's from Stanford University. And for those of you who are interested, I didn't post a link here, but all you have to do is go into your search engine, all right? Punch in Birmingham bus boycott in Stanford University, and you'll find a link that I was talking about. You'll find a link that I was referring to when I guess it's from the history department of Stanford University, and they'll tell you all of the intricacies. You know, it's a basic synopsis. It doesn't go into much detail, but it gives you an idea where to steer. I think there's a slight bibliography there also, for those of you who want to find out where the material came from. But it does confirm what I said, all right? That the MIA, well, I'm assuming it's the Montgomery Improvement Association, they had started a competing carpool to rival the municipal bus service, and the carpool consisted of 300 cars. So I was correct. Those churches did start a competing service in order to enhance them avoiding the bus boycott. All right? Now, I go to post this on Jason Black's page on Facebook, and I do that specifically to show him, bro, we're all learning here. This is a give and take, a mutual exchange of information. No one has to pretend to know everything, because we're still trying to work together to get some stuff done. In fact, that was my sole point in adding this guy and listening to his videos, because he professes to know a lot about business. So therefore, whatever I don't know, he can assist me by sharing this information. And whatever I know, I can assist him by sharing that information. So this way, black people do not have to work at a disadvantage. They do not have to work at a disadvantage, because if one person knows something, he can share it with the person who does not know, and then they will both be on the know in things that they need to know. But what happened was, in my attempt to put it on his page, apparently he had blocked me and banned me from participating in his discussion. Now, I don't mind. I'm not that sensitive where I'm going to get banned from participating on your web page, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to take it personal. I'm not taking it personal, because it's an exchange of information. But the fact that you're going to ban me from the conversation means you're taking it personal, Jason Black. pseudo-black authority, you are taking it personal, which means that there's something hidden in the manifestation of your videos, of your commentary. All right? A person cannot tell you that they are a black progressive and they believe strongly in black empowerment, and then they present something on their own personal website or their own personal page. They can't tell you that that in the civil rights struggle that these people were doing this thing, and then when you prove to them, no, they weren't doing that thing. You know? No, they weren't doing that thing. They were doing an entirely different thing. And like I said, the 2 points I wanted to address in that thread on those comments was that, number one, they had started their own competing bus service. That was number one. They had started their own competing bus service. And number two, it had bankrupted the bus service by pooling their money together and starting a competitive venture. They were able to bankrupt whatever municipal venture the city was doing. All right, so my point was twofold. And the second point was the one that was more crucial. It was the one that was more pertinent. It was that, if you pool your money together, you can be successful and you can beat out any competition, even if it's the government bus company. And this is something that you need to know, but we never got to that point because he refused to concede that he was wrong when he said that everyone was walking everywhere. And it made me think suspiciously about this guy, because not the fact that he could be wrong, but the fact that he wouldn't admit to being wrong. All right? It wasn't the fact that everyone could be wrong about some things, and everyone can use some enlightenment on some things. But when you refuse to acknowledge that you are wrong, it makes me think, look, if you're wrong about something so simple that's on the historic record, what else are you professing to know about that you are wrong on also? Right? Because this is how we have to look at the thing. We've got to look at it as a guy who won't admit to being wrong, and then he wants to ban you, which means he won't acknowledge being wrong, which means the only opinion that matters is his. Now, on his page, that can be true. I mean, the only opinion that matters is his. But do not come out here pretending to be a progressive. Do not come out here pretending to be, a laborer for the market, for the purpose of black economic solidarity, if you can't even make a simple concession on a fact that is already known. Because it makes us question everything else that you stand for. It does make us question everything that you stand for. It makes us, hold with reservation everything that you say that you are against. Because now we have to rationalize, why is he against it? Because I wouldn't block anybody on my page. If I'm wrong about something and you can provide me with a reference, I'll say, wow, I did not know that. That's good to know. All right. Man, it's good having people like you on my friend list, so I will never be without a basis in truth. Now, Jason Black also said, before he had banned me, that all the comments that I'm making to you now that I've submitted for proof, I've submitted for verification. He said that was ignorant, and this is a quotation, this is a quote. It was ignorant, conspiracy-based thinking founded in some unsubstantiated fantasy. Those are some big words, man. Ignorant, conspiracy-based thinking founded in unsubstantiated fantasy. Those are some big multisyllabic words. Now, not one of those words was true, because it can't be ignorant if it's the truth. And it can't be a conspiracy theory if it's on the record. And it can't be unsubstantiated if it's true. And it can't be fantasy if it's true. So it's basically me thinking differently. Okay, I think differently. But the things that I'm thinking are true because they can be proven on the record. Right? And basically, you know, this is not really about the Birmingham bus boycott. This is about Jason Black pretending to be something he is not. Because I listen to a lot of people's videos because I'm open to a lot of different information. And, you know, and I think a lot of you guys, you know, some of you guys have good intentions and some of you guys don't. I thought Jason Black had good intentions. I thought the Black Authority was somewhat of an authority, you know, wasn't giving them 100% credence. Because I listen to some of those Ustream radio shows or Blog Talk Radio or whatever channel that is. I don't understand the whole screaming match with the callers. Look, man, if a guy calls in, and you don't, I like to keep things civil. Because if you're not being constructive, you're just wasting time. And in a 2.5-hour radio show, for you to get into a screaming match or a yelling match and squelching match with other callers, that sounds foolish, man. I appreciate the video of how to start your own radio broadcast with, you know, where you showed the Behringer mixer and the headphones. I mean, I've got all that stuff anyway. I'm doing this on my phone because, you know, I'm an outdoor person and I really can't be in the house. I find myself, you know, at my best when I'm outdoors. That's why I'm sitting in the truck doing this video. All right? I try to speak close enough to the microphone and the cell phone so you can pick up all the audio and then, you know, eliminate as much outside noise as I can. But I'm on the go, so I don't really have time to sit in the house in front of a mixing board and 2 computers. All right? But my problem with some of you guys, seriously, my problem with some of you guys is everyone is professing to be a guru when some of you guys are just jockeying to be the head nigga in charge. And Jason Black is one of those guys. You'll fool yourself, you know. I'm right now because on my list, on my scanner, I'm looking at guys like you know, Jason Black, Jay Duvai. Some of you guys, man, Mr. V, there was guys out there, Sergeant Willie Pete. Some of you guys, man, I hold skeptically, man. I watch your videos and I say, you know, this guy might be on to something. But it's the same way Tommy Sotomayor drew me in, all right? 2012 or so, was it? 2012. I'm sitting there and I'm bored and I see one of his videos and I wind up watching about 10 or 15 of his videos and I'm thinking, yeah, he's on point. That guy's got a message to make. Oh, yeah, he's funny. But then after a while I start to notice this dude has nothing positive to say. He seems to be on an agenda, all right? I told this dude when Jehudi Matra, back when he had his YouTube channel, and he was going to do the Real Men Power Tour with Tommy Sotomayor and a couple other guys. I said, man, Tommy Sotomayor ain't got nothing to contribute. You can't talk about how to make people better and how to manage their lives more productively and efficiently, and then Tommy Sotomayor is going to come in there and insult black women for 45 minutes. And as you can tell, the Real Men Power Tour fell apart because Tommy Sotomayor is a fraud. So I thought Jason Black and the Black Authority might have a better message. And it sounded like that initially. And if not for my exchange yesterday, I would have still given this guy the benefit of the doubt. But after my exchange with this guy yesterday on his Facebook page, I give him nothing but doubt. I know he's a fraud. Bona fide fraud. Right? Bona fide. Man cannot tell you that he grew up in Texas and Louisiana and knows nothing about the Birmingham bus boycott. Wants you to believe with sincere conviction that for over 1 year, men, women, and children were walking to all their destinations in Alabama in the heat of an Alabama summer. 85, 90 degrees every day. 80, 90% humidity. I lived in Miami. I know what the weather was like. I lived in Miami at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's already 85 degrees in the summertime. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. All right? I'm starting work at 7 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock, I already drunk a gallon of water. You know? Seriously. Seriously. He wants you to believe that men would get up in the gabardine suit and they would walk to work 8 miles every day for a year in 80-degree Alabama hot and heat. 80-degree Alabama summer, Alabama spring. Even in the wintertime, when the weather is mild, it will still be in the 70s. But you want a guy who's got to be to work at maybe 6, 7 o'clock. Because remember, most of these black people, if they had jobs down there, they were domestics. Maids and butlers and gardeners and chauffeurs. So you want me to believe that a guy would get up at 6 in the morning at daybreak and walk 8 miles? Because, look, this is what I do. If it takes me, let's say, if it takes me 28 minutes to walk 1.5 miles, and that's here in New York City, it takes me 28 minutes to walk 1.5 miles. All right? That means if a guy in Alabama, in Selma, in Montgomery, and not necessarily in the city, but the guys who had lived outside the city in the unincorporated areas, the countryside, the rural areas, the small towns, the hamlets and the villages, right? It would take them about, what's that, an hour? So 56 minutes to walk about 3 miles. And about, so let's round that up to an hour. So if he had to walk to work, it would take him a full hour to walk to work, based on my capabilities. If it take me 28 minutes to walk 1.5 miles here in New York City, and it would take this guy, assuming the same, in the country, in Alabama, in the 50s, 1 hour to walk 3 miles. So it would take him 2 hours to walk 6 miles. So if his destination was 6 miles, he would walk there in a gabardine suit, in a wool suit, in a suit, with a white shirt on, and get there and still look presentable in an Alabama morning, in an Alabama daybreak, in the middle of the summertime, even in the middle of spring, right? A woman who worked as a domestic, either a cook or a maid or a housekeeper or a nanny, because this is what black people were relegated to doing back in them days, especially down south. Right? You mean to tell me she would get in her shoes and she would walk 3, 4, 5 miles, and she would walk for an hour, 2 hours to get to the destination, and then work for them white people 8, 10, 12 hours a day, turn around and come back in the middle of the night. Not the middle of the night, but remember, you're only going to get daybreak at one point. So if you're walking to work at 6 in the morning, and you probably had to be there earlier so you can start breakfast for all of these people, for all of these white folks. You can start breakfast with the Melba toast and the eggs and all that stuff that you had to do from scratch because the person that employed you was too cheap to buy a General Electric brand toaster or coffee maker. So you had to make it from scratch. Then you got to go home. So you're only going to get daybreak once. If you walking in there, if you walk to work in daylight, you're not walking home in daylight if you worked in 12-hour day. But don't forget, you were also on your feet for 12 hours. So 3 miles there on your feet all day, and then you walked home another 3 miles. 3 miles there, you worked 12 hours, you walked home 3 miles. Great. That could have been done. And the best thing, I'm gonna tell you something. The best thing that would ever happen from that is that black people at that point in time were not as obese as they are now. If you're walking 6 miles a day, and you're on your feet all day for 12 hours, you're going to be some pretty thin people. Not saying that you're eating healthy, not saying that you're living healthy, you're just going to be a thin person. So obesity would have been down, even though we don't know the other particulars of your lifestyle because you may have been subjected to a lot of stress and bad eating habits from taking care of other people all day and not having the time to take care of yourself. But that's why I know that everybody was not walking. That's why I know everybody was not walking. But Jason Black won't tell you that. He'll tell you that he's got all the facts, which can't be found anywhere. But he's got all the facts. People, man, I need you guys to stop investing your time in these false prophets. All right? I want black people to do better also. But it can't be done if everybody's over here pretending to know it all, and then when you want to address some discrepancies, because we do not know it all, what you're going to do is block conversation and ban people from participating because they hurt your feelings because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I meant to be profane right there because this is the perversion that's going on out here. You see, the YouTube, it gives an opportunity, and all these other Daily Motion, all these other websites gives an opportunity for people in different areas to congregate mentally and intellectually. A lot of you guys, man, you know, you getting big heads about, you know, how interesting you are. I'll call it like that, you know, because after I got banned, one of his other persons on this page sent me a comment on Facebook. He said that dude gonna ban you because you disagree with him, but that dude's just some old Facebook gangster, Facebook revolutionary, and I wish it wasn't so. I wish the guy was real. I really wish that guy was real, man. I really do. Because there's so much work that the black community needs to have done, but you need people who are really dedicated to it in order to do it. It can't be just a bunch of people out here just putting on airs and trying to get internet credits and trying to make a name for themselves. Everybody trying to make a name for themselves, but, you know, with questionable content. Jason Black was wrong. And if he was wrong about something so simple as the Montgomery Birmingham summer bus boycott, what else is he wrong about? And it's not the fact that he can't be wrong, it's the fact that Jason Black would not admit that he was wrong. The Black Authority is not an authority. If you've taken it personal about being wrong, if you're going to insult people who are going to participate in your conversation, in the dialogue about what happened 60 years ago, we're not talking about something in Roswell, New Mexico with alien abductions and UFO crash site landings. We're talking about, and this is what I keep trying to get out there, the usefulness of collective group economics and how it can debilitate any competition if you are focused on your objective. Can I say that again? Because that was the most important thing I wanted him to get from this. The usefulness of collective group economics in the Montgomery Birmingham Selma bus boycott and how effective it was in destroying the competition who had devised a caste system upon the people who are paying for this service. The people who were paying for the service decided they didn't want to get treated that way and decided to open a competition, a competing transportation service, a competing bus service, a competing livery service. And when they had done such a thing, then they drove that municipal bus company bankrupt. That's the point I was trying to make. But Jason Black didn't get that point. The Black Authority couldn't comprehend that point, which means there's something wrong with the Black Authority because he kept taking it personal and he kept being insulting about things where he was wrong. So if a man was wrong about that and he took it personal, he should have taken it in stride. If he couldn't take it in stride, then what he needed to do was, let it slide. But the fact that he couldn't take it in stride means he was hiding something. He is hiding his intellect. He is hiding his knowledge, which means he doesn't have it. Now, if he's going to put on airs, he doesn't need to put on airs under the guise of the Black Authority. He just needs to call himself the black guy that might know a little something about something. There you go. Do that.